Right, welcome back everybody. We're back in the man shed again and we're just experimenting with the colours on these sample boards. Now the one I did yesterday is dry, so I will show you that. Well, it's all dried off nicely now, and to be honest, the colour looks pretty good just on its own. If you're looking for natural stone, something natural, that does look like, well, it is. It's as natural as what you're going to get. It's just cement, I suppose. So that is not a bad colour. The arch is dried off nice with a foam underneath it. You can hear the hollowness there, but yeah, it's nice and tough. And these are the paints I've been given. I've been given a load of little samples, all fairly sort of natural colours. You can just see on the edge of these tins what sort of colours are, like stone, things like that. But what we did was the original sample boards that I brought to the salon the other day, we just painted them with a brush, and it didn't look great. It just looked like what it was, a coloured painted thing. So I got the sprayer out last night, my little Wagner sprayer, which is in there. I'll get that out in a minute. And I just very lightly sprayed. So this is a bit of plasterboard, just no texture on it. So I just lightly sprayed. I went from a light base, and then I did a very light with a darker one, and then I went slightly darker on top. Just to give it like a bit of a mottled effect, a bit sort of shadowy and shapy. So that's just a bit of plasterboard. I don't think that's come out too bad. It looks fairly like stone, I think. I think it's not bad. So we're going to replicate, or try and replicate, that onto here now. And it's a shame I quite like that. Anyway, we're going to try and replicate that onto here and see if we can get like a natural... don't look at the bottom one, it was just like a tester, but if you can get some sort of natural streaks and colours going onto here. So let's get the sprayer set up and we'll try that. So this Wagner is like an air driven one. It's like a turbine, and it pushes the paint out there. But what I like about this is that you can dial down the pressure. You can dial down the air intake, so it's very gentle. And you can dial out the amount of paint that comes out. So if you want to sort of experiment with not loads coming out, as you would with the Graco, like the quick shot, which is a brilliant thing. But for this, it's like it's all or nothing. But this, you can really get like a fine mist coming out. So that's why I'm choosing to use this one. So this is the Finish Control FC 3500. A great little sprayer, to be honest. Really good. Good for doors and things like that. So we'll try with the same colour paints as we had before. So I'll get a light base in the sprayer and then we can spray this. Right, sorry, I forgot to push the record button there, like an idiot. But that's had its first coat of spray with this on it. And probably won't look a lot different. It's just one background colour. Quite a natural looking colour as well. Looks okay like that. I quite like the colour actually. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to change the colour in this pot, and then I'm just going to lightly go over that so it isn't blanking it completely out. So we're hopefully going to get some shades and some shadows and some more natural looking effects. So I'll put you on pause while I just change the colour over. Not sure. I'm going to let that dry a bit, and then I'm going to go over the top with a much darker colour now and just try and give it a bit of a fleckled bit. So see how that goes. Colour number 3. Now this is a much darker colour. What do we think? Has that got the desired effect? I mean, imagine that across a whole wall, 2.4 high. It's hard to get it on a short board because you're not getting much of a run with a sprayer, but I quite like that as a concept, as a natural stone. I think it would work because it's so random. Let's take these boards off the side. So we're outside now in natural light. I think the paint is still wet anyway, so it's got to dry a bit. We'll leave that to dry and then have a look really. I'm not sure if it's going to be what the customer wants or not. I mean, ideally you would do it in like the actual stuff which has got the colour in it, so when you're putting it on you're getting that thing, but I think that's going to be quite expensive for the size of the walls, and it's going to be a bit more time consuming because each one of them stages needs to dry before you go on, and then from what I can see you have to really buff them walls and burnish them and just to get them to look anything. So I'd love to do that. I'd love to be able to sort of have the time to do that, but I don't know if they've got the budget or the time for that, so this is why we're trying with this. But we'll see how that dries anyway, and I'll come back to you once it is dry. That's it all dry now. I think that looks quite good. It looks quite natural stone looking. You can see these sort of different shades coming in and out of it. Yeah, I like it. I like the look of it. Let's bring you in a bit closer. You see these dark to lights. Not bad, not bad.